Hey gang, what's up? Welcome back here to another edition of Intuitive Angling, and thanks for tuning in today, man, for today's video. And just want everybody to know out there is, you guys know I do 2 videos a day, and I just want you to know that I really appreciate everybody taking the time out of their day to check the videos out. Definitely don't take that for granted, so thank you very much here. Guys, today I'm going to go through and give you a product review of my 5 of my favorite May lures. Now, my favorite lures in May actually depends on where I'm fishing out in the country, but I've got 5 that probably stand out above any others as far as the most productive for me, as far as for numbers and size of fish both. So I'm going to go through each one of them and sort of give you guys a review of the product and sort of give you some tips and advice on how to fish it and when to fish it and situations to look for. And also, guys, you guys know I'm working with Baitworks here in Springfield, Missouri, and if you want to help the channel out, I'll put the link in the description to each one of these baits, and you guys can order them there if you'd like to support the channel. Very much appreciated. Okay, guys, we'll get into this here. May is a really good month to fish. In fact, I'm going to guess out of if I had to pick 1 year or 1 month out of the year, that you can probably catch more bass on the average is the month of May. I mean, there's still a lot of fish up shallow. A lot of the fish are actively feeding. And my 2 favorite months to bass fish are April and May. I just think those are the 2 best months out there. And there's a lot of different things that work in the month of May, depending upon the conditions and the structure that's in your lake and the water visibility. So we're going to go through each one of these here. Okay, guys, we're going to start out here. I'm going to start out with the Megabass. Now, this is not the regular 110. This is the silent 110. This is it's got a fixed balancer in there, guys. It's not like the regular 110 that has a moving balancer system. So this bait is quiet. It's a silent jerk bait. And the reason that this is my favorite in the May and I use a silent jerk bait heavily in May, is because I have found out that in major lakes across the country, the lakes have taken a tournament pounding in March and April. I mean, just relentlessly. I mean, like here in Missouri, guys, Table Rock Lake, it has gotten beat to a froth the last 2 months. And these bass get educated, especially the bass that are in shallower water. And I find that the silent model, the silent jerk bait, will generate a lot more strikes in the month of May when those fish start to get wise. Those shallow fish are spooky anyway, being shallow, but going to a shallow jerkbait really will add up to your bites a lot. Probably my favorite place to fish this, guys, is in May. A jerkbait works really good around riprap. There's a lot of shad spawning around riprap. A lot of bass use it after they spawn. And one of my favorite techniques is just to cover water on riprap. It doesn't make any difference if it's bridge riprap or dam riprap or riprap between docks or whatever. Just give the silent Megabass 110 a try around riprap. I think it's going to add up some good fish for you. Okay, the next one, guys, one of my favorite is this Zoom Frog. Now, that's the name of it. Zoom makes it. It's just called the Zoom Frog. And it's a solid body frog. It's super durable, guys. This stuff is just like super durable. And at first sight, a lot of people sort of compare it to a horny toad, but it's really not. It's got a completely different sound. It's a lot more aggressive. These legs that they have on here, they make a pretty loud gurgling sound, almost like a buzzbait. So it's almost like a subtle buzzbait. And guys, those in May, a lot of those bass will get super shallow. When they're up like cruising the bank looking for bluegills and stuff, they'll get in like a foot or 2 of water. And this Zoom Frog, guys, is one of my favorite lures for catching those super shallow May bass. 2 colors, I usually use black or white. It seems like if the water's got some stain to it, a little, pretty dirty, and if the day is maybe low light conditions, I like the white. And if it's a little bit on the cleaner side, like if the water visibility is over, say 2 foot, and you've got those conditions, I'll go with the black. But Zoom Frog, guys, this is a super tough bait. You can catch a ton of fish on it. The way that I usually rig it is I don't use an EWG hook like a lot of people. I just take a straight shank 5/0 hook and I thread it on it, and I come out and leave the hook exposed, and that way you can really cover a lot of water. Now, if I'm fishing around heavy cover, I'll have to Texpose it, but other than that, I like the hook exposed there. Okay, the third one, guys, is the old Storm Thunder Stick. Now you can see this is sort of a veteran here, man. I've caught a ton of fish on it. This is considered a wake bait, and actually I got the hooks off of it. And this bait, it's just like I said, you throw it out there, and it just makes, and you just reel it slow along the surface like that, and it trails out a wake behind it. It's a very, very subtle bait. It's got a rattle in it, but it doesn't make much rattle because you reel it so slow. But guys, when those fish come off the beds and they start to sort of begin to move out to their, you know, late spring, early summer spots, you can take this thunder stick out here and you can get out on any bluff bank, or especially bluff bank with timber, main lake points, anything like that, and you can just fan cast this topwater around those areas and catch some toads doing it. It's real specific as far as the conditions. You got to have a calm day. If you don't have a calm day, just a slight little breeze on the water, this thing, what happens, it's so sensitive that if you got any chop at all, it nosedives and it doesn't work. Plus you can't see the wake behind it. So if you get a conditions where you have some low light conditions and calm conditions, guys, pull this thing out right here, and I can promise you it'll get you some good bites. But it's been around forever. It's an Ozark staple around here. I've been fishing this thing for forever. Just one of my favorite May baits. Next one, guys, is the full-size jig. This is my Block It Old School jig, guys. You know, I talk about this all the time. Get it exclusively at Baitworks. I'll have the link in the description. This is my hand-tied rubber jig here, short shank hook on it. This is the 5/8 ounce model paired up with a Zoom Super Chunk. Now, guys, a lot of times in May, you got high water conditions. You got a lot of flooded conditions. And if it's flooded in May and you've got any type of flooded cover in the water, 5/8 ounce Block It Old School jig with the Super Chunk trailer is my go-to. I've caught the biggest bags of fish I've ever caught flipping. Most all of them have come in May on this combination here. Now, I usually thread it on like that, but if I'm fishing an area that's got you know, really thick cover and some bigger fish, I'll thread the chunk on like a frog to give it a larger profile like that, and it will definitely get you some good bites there. Full-size jig. A lot of people don't use them as much as they used to anymore, but guys, I put this on 25-pound test Seaguar Vizex, that Megabass Alkalies flipping stick, and go to work on it in May. And finally, guys, my last one here, Megabass S-Crank 1.5 square bill crankbait. We've talked about this quite a bit on the channel. This is a fish catching son of a gun, guys. Everybody knows about square bills. The Megabass is by far my favorite. I've used all of them, and I still use a bunch of different. I got homemade square bills. I've got different companies. I'll use a lot of them. But in May, there's something about the S-Crank that I've just caught a ton of good fish. If you guys have watched some of the Fish the Moment videos I've done with Johnny Schultz, you can see me catching them on this S-Crank. The S-Crank, a little bit different than some of the others out there, is that it's silent, which I like, and it's got a little bit tighter wobble on the thing. It's got a lot of the square bills have a real big throbbing wobble. This thing's got a little bit tighter wobble, has a little bit different frequency on it, and I catch a ton of fish on it, fishing it around, you know, lay down logs, stumps, boat docks, rocky banks, just really targeting that 2 to 3 foot of water. And colors, I really prefer the blackback chartreuse side. The bigger fish will hit this color most of the time, and the 1.5 size is my favorite. So anyway, guys, that's my my 5 reviewed favorite baits in May is the Silent Megabass 110, Block It Old School jig with the Zoom Super Chunk on it, the Zoom Frog, Megabass S-Crank, and the Storm jointed Thunder Stick here. I've just caught a boatload of fish on these 5 baits. So if you give them a try, I think it'll add up to some good ones for you guys. So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time.